Hey guys, Technoman here with the video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to do an updated 2022 review of fake versus real AirPods review and how to spot fake versus, of course, a real one. And it's going to be really important because the fake ones or the super clone ones are actually really close to the real ones, and it almost makes it harder to spot them. And we're going to show you the key things to look out for, especially if you're buying a second hand from maybe somewhere locally or some app or even online sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and break everything down from the packaging to the inside and then functionality wise as well. All of that we're going to go ahead and discuss. So let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit. So first thing first is the packaging. So you'll notice here on my left hand side here, this one is the real one, and on the right hand here it's going to be the fake one. So if you look at the box itself just side by side, you really can't tell much between these boxes. You'll notice there is the coloring of the box here. You'll notice the difference between this real one, which is really just pure white, versus the fake one, which is the most up-to-date one, super clone. It has that shading of sort of slight off white. So that's first thing you'll notice. Next thing around the packaging, if we look side by side with the real and the fake, is that the new up-to-date AirPods Pro have that MagSafe charging case. That's the word that you'll see here. And then here, as you can see, the super clone ones here says wireless charging case. So that's a key giveaway, and that's going to be the latest model of the AirPods Pro. So if you don't see it have MagSafe, instead it says wireless, that's another tip. Again, this isn't going to be for the 100%, but that's going to be another tip off. The next thing we're going to look off is the tab here. You'll notice the tab here and then the actual packaging on this side here. You notice the fake one here has this crease, where the real one doesn't have that crease. Even across the top it just has that, but not on this side where it looks really big. And then again, the color differences between them. And then the tabs, you'll notice here, really premium looking, and this one's a little bit off color here, the fake one. And then next thing is going to be actually moving to the actual, again, the back label here. You'll notice a couple things here on the label. Of course, the real one and the fake one, you'll see the font size. The fake one, as you see, again, says wireless, and then the MagSafe charger here. And then you notice other things about the writing here. As you'll see here, the writing underneath, again, that's going to be another key giveaway on terms of deciding it. And then lastly, if you look in the back here, you'll notice other things as well here. Again, the font here, you can almost tell the font here looks clean, and just this one just looks off color, and it's more bold on this one here. So that's going to be another giveaway as well. So that's going to be the packaging itself. Now the next thing you want to take a look at, it's going to be actually around the packaging by simply tearing this pull tab. So the real one will show you, if we do a pull tab, it pulls up really nicely. Now let's do the fake one really quick. As you see here, this thing snaps. Again, a key giveaway is this one, that the fake one just snaps without even actually pulling the thing up, where the real one actually comes off the way it should. So you'll be able to take that packaging off nicely. So that's going to be another big one. Of course, how the packaging, you take it off. Again, the plastic here, pretty premium. This plastic on this one, it's more thicker. So if you feel, if you do a side-by-side comparison in your hand, of course you can't feel this, but your premium lightweight versus thick plastic. And that pull tab, again, showed you that when you do that pull, this one is just a stick on, so that's why it doesn't really pull that wrapper off. Again, really important key distinguishing when you're unpackaging this. Now let's move on to more stuff around this one. So if you notice here, the other thing we mentioned here, it's going to be this part. The new AirPods, the Pro that have MagSafe, is made in Vietnam. And then this one, the fake one, usually it says made in China. That's not always the case, but that's something to also look out for. Now let's go ahead and start to look at the inside of the packaging. So again, if we take the packaging here, the real one first, comes up here, and you have this, and then the fake one package is a little bit tougher for some reason to pull out, but eventually they come off. So there you go. And then you notice here again, real versus fake. You'll notice this one premium in terms of the font and the boldness. This is a little bit lighter, so that's another thing to note for. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging here. AirPods Pro, and then this one says the exact same thing, so that's going to be hard to take away. Now if we go ahead and keep on unboxing, you notice the real one has a bunch of these, 3 of them, and then this pamphlet. Same with the fake one, but you notice here these staples versus no staple on the real one. So that's another thing to know, like take a look out for. So you got the staple versus non-staple, and then you'll notice when you open up the pamphlet versus real versus the fake one, you notice again the font here on this one. Some of the fake ones just simply doesn't have that word as well. So you notice the fake one will say iOS instead of AirPods Pro. The older fake ones would say plus iOS. So if you have plus iOS instead of the word AirPods Pro, that's going to be another giveaway. And then you can take a look at the pamphlet here. As we mentioned, this is the most up-to-date clone, so a lot of things have changed. You'll notice here there's 5 different tabs here that are pulled out, and the same here. If we do this one's a little bit tricky, but there's also 5 here, so that's going to be another thing to note for. So again, the one thing we noticed, the packaging around no staple versus staple. Now let's move on to the next item of the actual packaging here to take a look at the package itself. So here you'll see the orientation is slightly different. Here where you're seeing the back, here you're seeing the front side. Again, it could possibly be the way they packaged it, but another thing that you might want to take a look for. So these are the real ones again, and these are the fake ones. And taking a look at the real versus fake, we'll just look at this in a moment, but let's take a look at a little bit more on the packaging. So as you notice here, the packaging on this, if we take this thing off and then this one off here, again, very key detail, very minor detail that you want to look out for. The real one, you see that cable is fitted, and then the fake one, it's not fitted, so you got this gap going on. So that's fake and that's real. Again, really smart distinguishment, but it's something to note, especially when you're looking out for these real versus fake. And then lastly, again, same with this thing over here. You'll notice this one fits nice and smoothly. There's some gaps around this one as well. And then take a look at the cable itself here. Can't really tell much from the cable, but that's where the cables are. So that's going to be another thing. And then finally, take a look at this. Take a look at that. So this one's really hard to tell, but you'll notice here this is lighter versus a darker print over here. Really detail minor, but other than that, those look fine. So those are going to be things to look out for around the packaging. Okay, now let's move on to the next step. So we looked at the packaging, and now let's take a look at the actual AirPods and stuff. Again, remember this side is the real, the other side is the fake. So real versus fake. Again, you notice this, both of them here ready to go, and then the back here, and then we'll go ahead and take this off. All right, so next thing we want to look at in minor detail, it's going to be that light here. So you notice here between these, when the real and the fake, take a close look at the light. You have this light versus this one's just the green here. That's the minor detail, but you notice that as well. And then, of course, if you look from the top again, the real one are going to look much whiter than the fake one. The fake one is off color of white. That's something you'll notice. And then if we take a look at inside of the packaging, you'll notice the new ones have both the serial number on and then the battery and then the model number. So it's going to be really hard to tell from the inside packaging, but it's something to take a note of. And then finally, let's take a look at okay, so we notice that the case here, again, if you can see the color off difference of this, and again, it's really minor details, but it's something that we like to point out. And of course, you have this color where this is lighter silver versus the darker silver of the case. And on the back here, if you look again, you'll automatically know that it says assembled in Vietnam versus China, and then the font here. You can tell between these, if you look closely, that the font here on the fake one doesn't line up really well versus the real one where the font is much cleaner. Again, very minor detail, but again, good to know about these little minor details. Now let's move on to the actual AirPods, the pods themselves. Again, same thing here. You notice here, if you look at the real one color versus the one for fake, which has more, these are darker, and then the font here again, Vietnam versus China, and then the name, serial number on both of them are right there. So you can see the fake one just stands out. The real one very just blended in really well with the actual thing itself. So that's going to be another thing to note between these. So a lot of things to go. Now, for functionality wise, they connect really the same because the way the software is between them. A couple other things to note around determining real versus fake is that the fake one does not have active noise canceling. So when you put this on and activate the noise canceling feature, you won't pretty much hear anything. But the real one, what you'll hear is some white noise coming out of it. So that's how the noise canceling aspect comes in play. The other thing about determining if you didn't have the case or anything is the charge level. So if it's a AirPods Pro, the real one, they last about 5 hours or so. The fake one lasts maybe 2 hours, at most we've seen 3 hours. So if you're looking to see the actual performance of these, the fake one, you'll notice that the life is not as long. So sometimes you've seen it to die in 2 hours on a single charge versus 5 hours. So that's another thing for you to note. So between these, hopefully this video is helpful. There are a couple other details, and you might already seen other videos mentioning other things. Again, because there are so many different fakes out there, it's harder to detail out every single thing. That's why we want to hear from you. What do you guys think? Or if you guys have anything else to determine real versus fake. Of course, the other thing you can check, I know you guys are going to mention, is going to be the serial number on Apple's website. You can go to Apple and then Google search serial number lookup. But most of the time, the way the fake are, there usually the serial number will come up as a genuine product. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see, but it doesn't. The serial numbers, they just seem to reuse the same serial number, so you won't be able to really tell much from the serial number, which would be the case for most other devices like iPhones, the MacBooks, and other devices, but that's not the case for AirPods. And hopefully this video was helpful. If this video is helpful, please make sure to like and subscribe button. Again, leave a comment of other things that to look out for when you're looking for fake versus real. And if you guys are looking to buy one of these fake ones for really discounted price, for just because you have one of those, there's going to be a link in the description where you can get these almost 1/3 the price, versus the real ones, which we recommend you get it directly from the store. Go into Apple or like Best Buy, some of the retail in store, not online, because online you don't know where they're shipping it from. So there you guys have it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.